Welcome to the Sowing Hope podcast. This is a show all about implanting hope in our hearts. I'm Bill Snyder, joined by my friend Ann DeSantis. We're glad you're here for our uplifting conversation about faith and how it sustains our hearts through all the seasons of life. Thanks for walking with us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Sowing Hope. I am Bill Snyder. It was just a few days ago we were with you, but we're back again, and it feels like I ate my words when I said the conclave normally lasts 20 days. It wasn't barely even 24 hours, and we had a new pope. So here we are talking about Pope Leo the 14th. That's what we're going to spend our time talking about on today's episode. It's great to be with you as always.
Yeah, you too, Bill. That's right. I feel the same way as you. It went so quickly, didn't it? And when I heard about the white smoke, I mean, my jaw was like dropping to the ground, like, already? Wow, this is amazing. And so we pray for our new Pope Leo the 14th. And the connection that he has to the United States as an American, as someone who went to Villanova University here where I'm from in the greater Philadelphia area, being also from Chicago, not far from you, Bill, right? It's just an amazing thing to see this happening, the very first North American Pope.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of shocking. Many of us here in America, we always say, "Oh, there's no chance we're ever going to get an American pope. There's no way." Here he is, Midwest born, and went to Villanova University and graduated in the class of 1977 at in Philadelphia. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. Robert Francis Prevost was his baptismal name, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, and he's an Augustinian priest, and bishop, of course, now Pope, which makes the Villanova connection something very interesting, obviously, right? Because that's an Augustinian university in the Philadelphia area, in the greater Philadelphia area. And it's just unbelievable that we have an American Pope, right? And it's just so unbelievable that there's an American Pope. I thought I will never see that in my lifetime, maybe my children's lifetime, but I think everybody is just floored that there is an American Pope.
Yes, absolutely. And we definitely need to pray anytime there's a new Holy Father, and continue also to pray, of course, for the repose of the soul of Pope Francis, which I'm sure he is praying for the church from heaven. And I just pulled this up from online, and it's what you just said, Bill, but just reiterating it into a paragraph, is that Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, now known as Pope Leo the 14th, is the first pope from the United States. The 69-year-old from Chicago is known as a leader with global experience. He spent much of his career as a missionary in South America, and also most recently, he led a powerful Vatican office for bishop appointments. So just some basic information there about him. And it's just yesterday, I mean, I'm still in awe. And I think that over the next several weeks, we'll be learning more about him. It takes time, doesn't it, Bill? It takes time to get to know his charism and his communication style. And so far, to me, everything that I'm reading and learning about him, obviously, he is the person that God had ordained to be the Pope. It was all through the Holy Spirit, I'm sure, because it always is.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And, one of the things that I found so interesting in the coverage yesterday, watching a lot of the coverage, one of the theologians on Fox News said that the weight of the papacy changes you. So kind of alluding to that, Anne, where you said, it takes time to unfold. But it's true, people go in all thinking this Pope is going to, follow the same things that Pope Francis did, or, Pope Benedict did, or, that's kind of to get the mindset, right? Like, who is this Pope most like, in the past few papacies? Is he going to be more like Pope Francis? Is he going to be more like Pope Benedict? He's going to be himself, right? He is going to be himself. And I I liked how the one theologian mentioned that the weight of the papacy changes you. It's an enormous responsibility. 1.4, I think 1.48 billion souls that are Catholic or proclaimed to be Catholic on the planet. And you're the leader of them all. That's an incredible responsibility, right? Like that's a massive responsibility to undertake. I'm sure that today is sinking in even more and more and more to him. But I'll tell you, he looks so joyful, right? He looks so joyful. He looks so happy. His blessing and his first little mini speech about unity was so very beautiful. It was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to know him. It really, just as I was with former popes, Benedict XVI, Pope Francis, John Paul II, just getting to know him over time when you listen to his homilies. And now, I mean, of course, with other popes of the past, we weren't able to learn about as much as how they communicate with other people, because we didn't have access to being able to watch things on Instagram, little clips and all those homilies. So it's something to really look forward to. I'm also looking forward to reading future encyclicals, papal writings, and just, getting to know his charism in terms of the way that he communicates through writing and teaching. I also thought this was interesting. I found this on an article online, that he was discussing the Augustinian order, and most specifically St. Augustine. And he had just a quote here that he said that the saint has spoken about how you cannot say you are a follower of Christ without being part of the church. Then Cardinal Prevost said he later elaborated that the saint's teachings, in quotes, touch every part of life and help us to live in communion. Unity and communion are essential charisms of the life of the Augustinian order and a fundamental part of understanding what the church is and what it means to be in it. So I thought that was interesting too, because it's the second time in recent years that we've had another pope who was from a religious order. Of course, Pope Francis as a Jesuit and Pope Leo the 14th as an Augustinian. Isn't that great, Bill? I mean, to me, to have those different charisms that we can learn about, grow with, and just really, delve into and learn about those virtues that we can exercise through our faith.
Absolutely. And that there's something so very beautiful about order priests. And I think Bishop Robert Barron said that yesterday on the coverage as well, as he was elected. We have 2 order priests in a row. They're not from the diocesan, system, right? It's from religious orders. And there's something so very beautiful about that, because they do bring a charism in, as you were kind of highlighting with, the Augustinian charism, and it's a lot of scholarship, a lot like Jesuits. There's universities out there, Villanova University, Augustinian universities that seek to educate and raise up people of good morals. And I mean, my family has deep roots to Villanova University. My grandfather, my brother, my sister, my mom, and my dad all attended Villanova University, and so they're going crazy, at Villanova that the Pope attended that university. But I think that there's such a beauty of this religious order, because it allows a charism to rise up. It allows, Saint Augustine is one of the most prolific doctors of the church. His writings, the City of God, I mean, all kinds of deep theological reflection, and it is so very beautiful that Pope Leo the 14th now will bring that to the papacy, and he will raise up, a beautiful charism that we just had with the Jesuits. Now it gets raised up with the Augustinian order. And so I'm sure Augustinians around the world, much like Jesuits around the world for Pope Francis, are celebrating and looking forward to their order now getting some quality attention in the church for the entire papacy of Pope Leo. So that's beautiful.
Yes, and as you're speaking about Villanova and the connection with the area here where I'm from and where you're from, Bill, even though you're out in Wisconsin, you were from Philadelphia. Your parents went to Villanova, as you said. I also make a shout out to the Augustinians because where I work as executive director for the St. Raymond Nonnatus Foundation, we've done quite a few retreats in combination with the Augustinians. In fact, we've done several at the St. Rita of Cascia Center in South Philadelphia. And so as soon as I got that news, of course, about the new Pope being an Augustinian, I thought immediately of my friends of the Augustinian order and loved to attend daily Mass at St. Thomas of Villanova, sometimes at their noon Mass during the week. And, as you said, it's just a beautiful charism. I also pulled up something from online about the Pope's responsibilities and duties. And I thought this would be interesting to read, just this little list here of things that are those responsibilities of a Pope. And of course, the main responsibility, of course, is their relationship with Christ, right? And their love of the church. But it's also leading the global Catholic Church and providing spiritual guidance, overseeing liturgical functions and sacraments, interpreting and upholding church doctrine and teachings, appointing bishops and cardinals, as we know, managing the administration of the Vatican City State, conducting audiences and papal masses, engaging in interfaith and ecumenical dialogue, so important, traveling to meet and address global Catholic communities, issuing encyclicals, apostolic letters, and exhortations, which I'm looking forward to, responding to global crisis and offering humanitarian support, presiding over synods and councils, maintaining and fostering relationships with world leaders and other religious figures. So that's quite a list, isn't it, Bill? I mean, there's so much there, but of course, the main thing is that personal relationship that they have with Christ and in living it out in their own charism, in who they are and in the work that God has laid before him.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as the world unfolds too, and world events transpire too, it also shapes the papacy, right? Like I think one of the maybe two of the biggest highlights of Pope Francis's papacy, at least for impact, here in America at least, was the World Meeting of Families, which took place in Philadelphia. I mean, that was an incredible moment for the Church of in America, and then you also had his response to COVID, and that Ubi et Orbi blessing that he gave during COVID in an empty St. Peter's Square with the monstrance. Him carrying this monstrance up the stairs. It's just an image that you will never forget. That's just kind of seared in your memory. And of course, all of the other things that transpired during his papacy. But I wonder where and how the next several years are going to unfold, and how that leadership, as you were listing off all the many responsibilities the Pope has, I wonder how as we go off into the future, we will see Pope Leo XIV react to. We will see how he leads through his what is seemingly this quiet tenacity. It seems like he has a very gentle spirit, but yet he's a good administrator, from many accounts of the cardinals and people that know him. So it will be very interesting to see how he carries forth that mission of being Pope, because it's a lot of weight, as you kind of alluded to there, Anne, with that list of responsibilities that he has. It's a big list.
That's right. And I said little list, but really it's big, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
there were quite a few things on that list.
Yeah.
And I pulled that up online because I thought to myself, there are people who might be watching this podcast who, and I could be included in this. I don't know everything about the responsibilities of the Pope. I mean, we see what we see when we look online and we read and we research, but there's always something new to learn. And I just wanted to add to a little bit of that list. And actually, it's not that small of a list, but also in addition to what I just read, we also have the list of qualifications and skills. And of course, as I said before I started the last time I spoke a couple minutes ago, is that the main thing is just the relationship with God and true love of God and of God's people. But in addition to that, it says extensive theological education and expertise, fluency in multiple languages, which I know that Pope Leo XIV has that, thankfully. Proven leadership experience within the church hierarchy, strong track record of pastoral care, ability to engage in effective interfaith dialogue, so important, experience in global humanitarian initiatives, deep understanding and commitment to church doctrine. He has to be an ordained bishop within the Roman Catholic Church, of course. He was a cardinal. Profound commitment to the Catholic faith, as I said at the beginning. Demonstration of spiritual and moral integrity. I know many people are concerned about that piece. Ability to lead and inspire a diverse global congregation. Think about it, the entire world. Ability to lead and inspire, as I said, and in-depth knowledge of canon law, exceptional communication and diplomatic skills, and the capacity to manage and oversee the operations of the Vatican. I mean, that last one, that's huge. I mean, think about the Vatican and just the responsibilities that holds, along with everything else going on in the world. And we do need to pray for him. We need to pray for all those around him, too, all the other bishops and cardinals and people that are working at the Vatican, because he might be at the top, but there's a lot of other people that help to make things happen, including our United States Conference of Catholic Bishops here, right?
Yeah.
And such a big connection with them because he's an American, too.
Yeah, and
So-
that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds with the American Church. I really have a beautiful feeling about how the American Church is going to receive our Pope, because we haven't had that opportunity really, before that. The Pope coming from our country, and so how does that shape American theology, or how does it shape American practice of the faith? And that's going to be very interesting to see, when he first travels to America and how he interacts with the other bishops and the dioceses across the United States. It's a wonderful opportunity for rebirth and regrowth, I think, in America and American Catholicism, because so many places in Europe and so many places in the United States have just dwindling numbers in church attendance. I mean, we look at all these problems that we have when you're in the church, or you're working in the church in the ministry. These are the problems that we confront, or are confronted by, I should say. And so how is Pope Leo going to take a look at that? How is he going to challenge the bishops and the laity that live here, and of course the clergy? How is he going to challenge us to grow in faith, and return to Christ? Because so many other countries have growing, basically, Africa's booming, right, with all of their, Catholicism is just expanding and growing like crazy over there, and in Europe and in the United States, there's just this very, very, very rapid decline of church attendance, of people participating in their faith and knowing their faith. We really have a crisis. And so I'm excited to see how Pope Leo takes and moves the church in America and Europe, where places where it is, dying. How does he revitalize that? And I think, being an American, he has a unique perspective to be able to do that, right? Like, he has a unique ability, that we in America have never had before, a pope, from our country. And so it's going to be really fun to see, at least in the first couple of years, how he interacts with the church in America.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. And I do believe there has been a rapid decline, although I did read, I think in the last several months, that it's stabilized, meaning the amount of people that are calling themselves either agnostic or atheist or just avoiding church for whatever reason, has stabilized, meaning we're not seeing those drops. So that's kind of good news, that that it's not to the level that it was before, where every year you'd see such a decline. I think it was a Pew study that I read. So we need to pray. Really, we need to pray. I have read and heard also that in the southern states in the United States that we're seeing more of an increase in new Catholics, people who are coming into the church. That would be kind of that Bible Belt. So people are searching for the truth, and so that's good news. I mean, even if it's in a section of the country, we just pray for our entire nation and the world that we would have a desire to learn and to grow, because it's about that relationship with God, but it's also about wanting and having a desire to want to have an education and the catechesis, and also combining that with faith, right? Combining that with real, tangible, everyday living, a decision to want to serve God every day and to be a member of the Catholic Church. And, that invitation is for everyone in the world. And that's the beauty of Catholic, right? Universal, our universal faith. We just really need to continue to pray for all of us and for, of course, our new wonderful Pope, Leo.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And I think, as we go forward, as Catholics, holding and keeping him in prayer is very important. And also, listening to him, right? I mean, reading his, you mentioned earlier, reading the encyclicals that are going to be pouring forth from his hand, and coming together with opportunities to pray with and for our Holy Father. When he visits countries, if it's coming to your country, go participate. Go to the World Youth Gays, go to the World Meeting of Families, do those things, because there's something special about that. I mean, I had the opportunity to pray in person with the last two popes, Pope Benedict and Pope Francis, and there's something really powerful about that. There's something beautiful about that. So definitely, right? Like go participate with this Pope.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I'm looking forward to when he does come to the United States. I really believe he will. I mean, he's American. He's also only 69 years old. So there's nothing holding him back, I don't think, health-wise, hopefully not, right? So that'll be something that we can look forward to and pray about. But I think most importantly, my message for this podcast is that we really do need to pray for him, pray for the church, and pray for all of our evangelization efforts to reach those people. Like you said, Bill, things are in decline in some areas of the world as far as the faith. You mentioned Africa. I mean, it's growing there, but we pray that in the United States and in Europe and other countries, that there will be a revitalization of wanting to love and serve God through the Catholic faith. So looking forward to it, Bill. I always love doing these podcasts where we can educate each other, others, and just have a great conversation about this.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely, and as I guess we kind of wrap up today, I want to remind people to visit our websites for more information. We haven't done a whole lot of Sowing Hopes recently. We've done these two almost back to back because of the events of the papacy and what happened, but we hope to do some more at least once a month or something like that. But in the meantime, go over to patchworkheart.org, which is my website, or Patchwork Heart Ministries website. Check it out. We have great resources there for you, documentary films, all kinds of things. So check it out, and learn more and just participate in what we have. And we look forward to getting a chance to interact with you on our website, email us, and all that good stuff. And I know, Ann, if you want to mention your websites and all your good stuff that you have going on, do that too. All right.
Oh, I do appreciate that, Bill. I'm a speaker with Catholic Speakers Organization. You can learn about that you can go to my website, andesantis.com, and speaking events. I have books too on the website. I'm the executive director for the St. Raymond Nonatus Foundation at nonatus.org. Reach out to us and you can make your free appointment for a pastoral consultation with a priest as well. So, Bill, thanks for the opportunity.
Of course, Ann. Thank you for your time, and it's always so wonderful to share the air with you. But until next time, from all of us here at Patchwork Art Ministry, I'm Bill Snyder. Keep beating to your Catholic hearts, and may God bless you and your families.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Sowing Hope on Patchwork Heart Radio. For more information about this podcast and our ministries, visit our websites, patchworkheart.org and andesantis.com. You can also follow and interact with us on Twitter at PWH Ministry or Andy Santis 2.